Good morning, everybody. I'm Alex S. Warrior, your online internet video game TV show host who loves taking inspiration from other online internet video game TV shows. Let me take you back to a wonderful year called 2009. I was 6 years old and the Nickelodeon website debuted one of my absolute favorite Flash game series of all time, Super Brawl. The premise is simple, but so damn infectious. Take characters from various Nicktoons and have them beat the shit out of each other. However, if my understanding of fistfights is accurate, it's better for your chances of victory if you just don't get hit. Like, at all. Can you beat Jingle Brawl without getting hit? The rules are simple. Beat all 5 characters in the game's single-player campaign tournament mode. You see that lovely health bar in the top left of the screen? That needs to remain completely full throughout the entire run. If we get hurt at any point, the run is completely dead, and we have to quit to the main menu and begin again. This, of course, makes the block button completely worthless since you still take chip damage. There is one exception. Sometimes you and your opponent will trade blows and hit each other at the same time, but only one of you will take damage. Like I said earlier, if your health bar is still 100% full, you're good to continue. With the rules set, let's do this thing! Only one click into the run, our first roadblock makes itself known. The character select screen. Like most fighting games, every playable character in Jingle Brawl has our own set of strengths and weaknesses. Our two main concerns for our character choice is their frame data and their matchups against the opposing character's AI. Rico has the fastest ground speed and good damage on his normal attacks, but his projectile is horribly inconsistent on whether or not it'll come out, regardless on whether or not you input it correctly. Fanboy's ground attacks and movement are too slow to properly combat a good chunk of the cast, plus his special attack is deceptively low range since he jumps backwards during the animation. Otis has amazing power and the potential to infinite every opponent since his attacks cause slide instead of knockback, but he gets hard countered by Rico. Otis is too big to jump over Rico's dynamite, especially with the lowest jump height in the game. That just leaves SpongeBob SquarePants and Cleft the Boy Chin Wonder. My go-to character was SpongeBob. While both have decent range and speed, SpongeBob has better matchups and a fairly consistent projectile as opposed to a ranged attack. Plus, not counting King Julian, SpongeBob has the hardest AI out of the roster with only a small chance to get out unscathed. We'll cover Cleft more later. For now, let's talk about the actual fights in intro sequence order. The 4 fights before King Julian are randomized, so we'll need to be well practiced on all of them, starting with Rico from the Penguins of Madagascar. Rico is one of the easiest characters to fight, but at the exact same time, he's also one of the most excruciating. What will we be doing? If all goes right, literally nothing. That's not even a joke. It turns out King Julian explicitly required Rico's AI to eat a roll of duct tape before the tournament started. Under certain conditions, if you and Rico are at specific distances, he will do literally nothing until you try an attack.
Kowalski analysis.
Skipper, he appears to be stuck in a staring contest.
I love that.
Kowalski? Sorry, Skipper, no clue. Spamming projectiles sounds tempting, but he may try to use his own in retaliation, even during his standstill. If you do nothing, Rico will do the same, making our goal simple. Get Rico in a position where we can spend the round sipping a latte. When the round starts, immediately kick twice in preparation for if Rico approaches right away, and hope he stays away after the knockback. If he approaches after the launch, kick twice again and eventually Rico will stay away. The next coin flip comes from whether or not he'll use his dynamite. If he does, space him out with a jumping kick and retreat. Eventually Rico will be confused on his next move and wait for yours, which will take a while. Before you ask, yes, I did spend nearly 3 minutes on every attempt that got to Rico doing literally nothing because it's the safest possible strategy. You better get used to this music, you'll be hearing it a lot. Fanboy is next, and true to his source material, he can be wacky and unpredictable. He's smart enough to not just stand still in the midst of combat, so we'll be resorting to a different tactic. Once again, we'll be starting the round by kicking immediately, but this time, we retreat after landing it. The rest of the match will be spent reacting to Fanboy's movements. If he walks towards you, mind your spacing as you approach yourself, kick him twice in a rhythm, and then run like a little sissy baby. You might be able to get a third kick in once or twice, but don't make it a habit since overextending may result in a reset. Walking forward is the most common thing Fanboy will respond with, so kick, kick, retreat, and rinse repeat as necessary, which may be necessary so often that our choice to play as SpongeBob becomes more and more appropriate. If Fanboy does a special attack, respond with one of your own if you're far away enough. If not, this is the only time it's safe to jump when fighting Fanboy. His AI will almost always jump when you do. Couple that with Fanboy having one of the fastest jump attacks in the game, and you quickly see why we spend the match mostly grounded. If Fanboy walks backwards, do nothing until he decides to do literally anything else. Your Bubble Hadouken has too much startup lag to be safe if he approaches during it. Most of the time you'll have to play lame to win game, but victory is not guaranteed since on rare occasions, Fanboy will remember he has a block button and make it your problem with his good out of shield options. Improvise as much as you can if it goes off script. Baby strats can only go so far if the AI gets angry enough. Otis from back at the barnyard is next, and here we have another one of the easiest fights. The only problem is, that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed victory. Otis being a heavy with a big hitbox makes him easy to combo. Use kicks to get him to the corner where he has no room or chance to break out. You might be wondering what's stopping us from doing that with every fight in the game, and the short answer is that it isn't that simple. Fanboy can only be corner comboed if you're positioned extremely specifically, and getting that point is far too finicky and far too risky. Rico doesn't even have the right launch angle for that to be possible in his fight. The beginning of the Otis fight is where the hard attacks may come in, and this next point applies to all 5 fights in tournament mode. Depending on how long you've been making attempts, or how far you've gotten in your current try, your nerves, emotions, and mind may very well be going berserk on you. Otis may end up sucker punching you out of nowhere, or he might cause you to whiff your initial kick by backing up at the start, leaving you wide open. There will be times you have to improvise, but your main method of making crab patties out of him remains the same, and he stays the simplest of your opponents to beat Damageless. One last thing to note, do not, I repeat, do not let him get off his special attack. If he successfully fires it, your run is over, since there's no way in hell you're dodging all that. The last playable fighter is Cleft, and fittingly, he's also the most stressful one to play against. Our main strategy is similar to how we handled Fanboy. Kick twice, run like a little sissy baby, and react. So where does the stress come from? A lot of places! Going for further consecutive kicks is even less viable since Cleft is smart enough to use his jump attack while being launched, and overextending is even more dangerous because of his kick being stupidly disjointed. Cleft's AI also has several quirks that Fanboy doesn't, starting with him deciding to sometimes jump towards your location instead of simply walking. Believe it or not, that's actually a blessing and a curse. While the jump means he approaches faster, it also makes him more predictable and easier to punish because of Cleft having noticeable landing lag. You see this bit of animation where his hat flies off? That's when he's wide open, and one of the only times in a run where it's safe to use SpongeBob's Shoryuken. Because of the move's animation in a hitbox, characters have a chance to fall out if they're in the wrong place during the combo. The rest of the strategy remains the same. Hadouken if Cleft calls upon his fairies, kick retreat if he approaches, wait if he tries moving backwards, and improvise whenever is necessary. With Cleft's secret identity exposed, we move on to the nightmare himself, King Julian. In a casual, non-challenge run, Julian can be a very difficult opponent, but thanks to years of playing this entire series, I found the holes in this lemur's game plan. Turns out, duct tape is a beloved delicacy in Madagascar that King Julian, of course, relishes in. His Majesty has his own quirk when standing at certain distances from the player, but unlike Rico, who does nothing, Julian will spam his special attack, the Mort Summon. This is the precise reason why SpongeBob was my go-to character for this run. His projectile that can handle Julian's fresh dance moves no matter how far he is. It's time to show this so-called king how to really fight. When Mort jumps up, that's his tell that he's about to attack. Despite being the king's secret weapon, Mort's damaging hurtbox has very low priority, meaning you can send him flying off screen with any of SpongeBob's kicks. With Mort temporarily gone, Julian's pretty much a sitting target until he comes back, but if you think that means it's safe to spam your projectile, Mort's got something to say about that idea. Even throwing out 2 is risky. Because of Mort's utter hatred for cheese, he has a chance to lunge at you with unreactable speeds if you use more than one special attack. Keep it the safer strategy and throw only one Hadouken and wait for Mort to respond. Don't let your self-doubt catch up to you. Chances are your nerves are shot if you made it this far. Focused on making sure you don't have to restart again and see King Julian's stupid smug face. But sometimes, the game has a sick sense of humor. No matter what happens, never lose sight of your goal. Even if Mort starts his attack at a weird spot that's closer than looks possible to react to, you still have one last ace up your sleeve. Mirroring Mort. SpongeBob's jump attack has a lingering hitbox that will snipe Mort out of the sky, knock that foot lover out of the arena, throw one bubble, and repeat until both rounds belong to SpongeBob SquarePants. With King Julian dethroned and both SpongeBob and myself hoping we did justice to the people we're ripping off, the Jingle Brawl Damageless Run is mission complete! I do have a couple notes before heading out. If you want to try this game and or this challenge, keep in mind that Flashpoint is a forced bundle. You're not just getting 1 or 2 games, you're downloading the entire archive. Hope you have enough spare storage space or an external hard drive. I'd also like to give a personal thank you to GameChamp3000 for inspiring me to make this video. I've always been a huge fan of her challenge runs, and this only made me respect her line of work even more. Tell me how much this video sucks and how to improve in the comments section below. See ya in the next video, goodbye for watching, and get out of my house!